So in this episode of PJ and the Beard, again, I say it all the time, I'll let you figure out who's who. We previously pulled out one of Jason's guitars that was not his number one, but was one that he really, really liked, told the story about how he got it. It was a Supro. He talked through the guitar, played through some of the tones, and then handed it to me reasonably cold, and I played through it, and you got to kind of see what it could do. So I kind of thought this through the same thing with my gear, and kind of hard to say that a Duesenberg might be a number two. It might not even be a number two, because we're PRS guys. We kind of not too shy about that, but we have other guitars that we like. So a good friend of mine we used to play with at church showed up with a Starplayer TV one time, which is like this guitar that was left in the dryer. It was shrunk down to like a Les Paul body size single cut. I'd never heard of Duesenberg before, and not long after that I started seeing them everywhere. It was sort of like when PRS started making the scene, and all of a sudden you're watching the award show, you're watching the Grammys, and all of a sudden you're like, what is that guitar? Well, Duesenberg was about in that spot. But the Starplayer TVs were out of my range, even on eBay, and this might even have been pre-Reverb. But I kept looking, and I found this magical thing here, which is a Duesenberg Carl Carlton. Most of them have a badge here with a C.C. I had to look him up. He's a German player, I believe he's a European player. They modeled as one of their maybe first signature guitars. But I stumbled across this on eBay for a guy that was using the term that I always hate. He was thinning the herd because he was doing like an addition on his house. And I'm like, well, here's my chance. So I got this Carl Carlton shipped in, I was telling Suter, the Beard, in a case that cost more than most of my guitars. Came with the case, came with this. I literally chased the UPS guy down. I missed him at my house. I called him, said, where is he? I found him at his next stop, signed for it, took it home, opened it up, and played it. And one thing about Duesenbergs is they have a plecked neck, which I have never played one. You know, pretty near perfection is the thing. And I took it out of the thing and just even not even turned on. And it's got that magical Bigsby-esque tremolo there. So I figure I'll just run through these sounds. So like I may have mentioned, I got this like 1600, 1650 shipped. They're 3300, 3500. It's the only reason I have Duesenberg is because I got it for that price.
I'll be honest with you. I never saw Duesenberg until I started playing with you at church, and you had it sitting over there. That was the first time I ever saw it.
So it's a humbucker and a P90, and originally most of the Duesenbergs, Starplayer TV and others, that was like their initial pickup configuration. So right now it's just going through the Fender, which I always forget. It's the Hot Rod.
Fender Hot Rod Deluxe.
Right, and just straight through a little reverb in the amp. And so here's the bridge pickup. So a lot of clarity in that pickup. Middle position, maybe a little bit of out of phase sound. Then we go to the P90 in the neck. So great clarity. These pickups are hot.
They're super hot.
We had to dial down a couple of the settings that we had from another guitar that we were playing. So I love it. I'd say the only downside is it's a little heavy. She's a big bottom gal for sure. She's heavy. We might edit that out. We might not.
No, definitely not gonna edit that.
So I love it. So that's the pickups, and now we'll just kind of go through a couple. We'll just add a little bit of sparkle to it. So now we're just adding a Wampler tape echo and a kaboing, whatever we
Biyang,
try reverb. We should really be nicer about how to pronounce that because we're hoping to be endorsed artists at some point.
No, we're not.
That's the whole reason we started this channel, so we could be endorsed by Biyang.
I don't know. Is it Boyang or Biyang? I'm not sure. It's called the Tri Reverb. We'll put it down in the information. It's a great reverb. Like, it gets a lot of praise online.
Right.
It gets a ton of praise online. Yeah, it's a good one.
So just kind of the same thing we played before. That was the neck bridge. I think that would cut through any mix, and it's not totally piercing, at least not from over here. So now we're gonna, we did, as Tor from TC likes to call it, we put it through the Ditto Lupa, and put a little riff on there, and I'm gonna play through the King of Tone as I bump the mic, or the camera. I'm gonna play through the King of Tone because I can, because Suter likes high-end pedals. So here's a little riff we threw in that was from...
I like the fact that we have the King of Tone. 2-year waiting list.
Yes, yes.
Right, and you can spend like twice as much as what it costs if you wait the 2 years. So don't do that.
The street name for that one is Ka-chang!
Get on the list.
Yeah.
And then over here we have like the $30, $40 reverb pad. So it works out good.
And no tone degradation whatsoever. So we threw a little something in the Lupa, and it sounds a bit like this. Played on the Duesenberg with the King of Tone. Pretty much same setup you're hearing here. So that was it. My timing was terrible on that, but that gave you an idea of the neck pickup. Even with that, it kind of felt like a little 335 characteristic to it.
Did you roll the tone off?
I rolled the tone off when I went to the bridge.
Okay.
Trying to get a little bit of that, steal a little bit of that.
So you rolled the volume off when you went to the neck.
A little bit, but not much. If I did, I hit the wrong switch. To be honest with you, the wrong knob. When I get to the bridge, and I talked to you a little bit about this, I try to roll some of the tone off. Sometimes I go drastic with it to try to steal a little bit of Santana's mojo, which it's all in his hands, but kind of taking that bright pickup with that clarity and turning the tone down so it's not piercing. So that's kind of what I did. I tried to go through some stuff, not the best playing you will ever hear, and that was full of clams for sure. So now literally, Suter has never even touched this guitar. The beard.
I'm a little nervous about this.
Try not to get any beard oil on it.
I'm a little nervous about that.
I don't know if you want to go right to the loop or you want to canoodle with it for a second.
But that's really, like...
It's springy. Yeah. Brian Setzer would be happy.
Yeah. Because I think the only guitars I have with tremolos on them are Strats. And they're like locked down, right?
Right.
You have 3 strings in the back. Get them up as tight as you can. So just this is like...
It definitely has a vintage feel to it.
You just have to touch it. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so I guess this is almost the first impressions of
this is the first time. Not like super heavy. The back is kind of cool. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. There's a little bit of something with grainy.
Yeah, it's kind of bluish purpley. It's interesting. Which is actually the same back that's on the Starplayer TVs, and they've come a long way. There's a million guitars in their line now.
I like the placements of the knobs. Switch is right there. That's nice. That's cool. That's like a big thing for me. Like, where's the volume knob? Like, how easy can I reach that?
For me, it's like, where's the sparkly pick guard? Oh, there it is.
That is a little...
It is.
It kind of reminds you of like some kind of old vintage car, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Especially with the D, you know. And there's actually a car called the Duesenberg.
And the headstock shape a little bit.
It's kind of Art Deco-y.
German.
Our German friends, they know what they're doing.
Is that what it is? German?
Yes, yep.
All right.
With some various parts from U.S. and Canada, and but yeah, it's a fantastic guitar, I think.
I mean, the actions.
Set up by our friend Chris Delaporte at Woodshed Guitars, which we'll talk about him in future episodes.
Is the neck flat?
I don't know what the radius of that neck is.
Is it like that? Never.
It's a plecked neck, which that doesn't mean that it's flat, but it's just a plecked neck. It goes through the machine and it hones the frets perfectly, but definitely doesn't have a big radius.
Yeah, it feels nice. All right, so first time getting to play, and we're playing this, and whatever that little thing that you laid down reminds me of something.
I may have stole it from somebody. I don't know.
I can't put my finger on it, but it's
either.
almost like the beginning of a sitcom or something.
It's if Costanza was in a bad neighborhood.
Oh, well, no,
I mean the Seinfeld Costanza.
What was the show where Tom Hanks dressed up like a girl?
I was gonna say Tootsie, but that was Dustin Hoffman.
No, the one where he dressed in drag.
I don't know.
It was Tom Hanks, wasn't it? Tom Hanks that dressed in drag, and him and his roommate lived in like an all-girl apartment. So
oh yeah.
Bosom buddies.
There you go.
But I don't think that's it. But it kind of, I don't.
I said big bottom gal. You said bosom. This is going downhill fast. Sorry, kids. You might want to take your children out of the room.
All right, so we're in like A
Ish.
minor.
Yeah.
That thing that.
And do you want the red side?
Yes.
He wants the red for
I
go.
want the red.
All right. You tell me when. I'll strike up the band.
Strike
and
up
my best Lawrence Welk, and the 1, and the 2, and the.
Thoughts?
Yeah, the cutaway. I mean, it's tough to get.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I was trying to at the end. I was kind of like just kind of exploring it a little bit because, like I said, first time I played it, not sure what I was getting into, and I'm not sure if your timing is bad. I think my timing is bad.
I messed up on the lead too, and I played the thing in the ditto looper. So
no, I think when it gets through that loop, I think maybe I'm a hair.
Okay, he pushed the buttons on the ditto looper. I played the guitar.
I think maybe I pushed the button a hair off.
That's our excuse, and we're sticking to it.
Yeah. Somebody's to analyze it.
So I love that guitar. Again, it's interesting to pass something cold to somebody else, which is part of what we wanted to do. Two guys that different but overlapping styles at times, different backgrounds, different gear. Although we played through the same stuff.
These are interesting.
Yeah, they're hot.
Because they're hot. They're really hot, but they're not sustainy.
No,
as much.
They're very clear.
Right. So it's like you're out there with them. Yeah, like you're not gonna hide behind gobs of sustain and like
you almost got a pinch harmonic out of it, but it was like, nope, not gonna do it. I've got a gold pick guard and a hollow body. No, I'm not gonna pinch harmonic me, pal. So I like it. It's a great guitar. Like I said, a little heavy, but I think the middle position is probably my least favorite on there. But one and the bridge and the neck, fantastic. I really enjoy it. I'm looking forward to perhaps other Duesenbergs.
Now, are they sticking with this combination?
They are still on the Starplayer TV, but they've expanded their line so much. They've got all kinds of signature ones. They've got Joe Walsh. They've got Campbell from Tom Petty's band, R.I.P. Tom. They've really come a long way. It went from like a couple different models, and again, you see every award show, and then all of a sudden there's just a plethora of ones. They've got the Resbro, that's like a resonator guitar. They've got like a lap steel. And I can't remember the guy's name right off the top of my head, but they're great videos. The German guy that runs through their gear is an interesting player, interesting guy. So
I would, yeah. I mean, my impressions, I would play that and enjoy that.
Yeah,
it feels really good to play. I think it would take me a little bit to get used to, but it's the same thing that we were talking about in the last video with the Supro, that single coil thing. Like I struggle with that. So the P90 thing is. Like, I so want to get with P90s, but I don't have much experience with them. And they're just a little different. I think you have to maybe start approaching them just a little bit differently.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I have to shape the tone slightly different with that guitar with my pedal board. It's not exactly plug and play with all of my other guitars.
Gotcha.
Totally. I mean, I can still get by with how I have it set, but like to really get the maximum out of it, I tweak that analog man a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, from the Supro to this one, just a tiny bit.
Now, secret, not a secret. I love hollow bodies. I think you do too. Like anything hollow body, I love. Mm-hmm. So you put the F holes in it, and like. And
everybody's going that direction now. Reverend, I saw some of the stuff they released at NAMM, and then the Eric Johnson Fender Stratocaster, and now PRS is doing the CE24 with an F hole. They're killing me. They want to make me keep buying guitars.
Yeah, a lot of people.
So the spiel?
Well, the spiel. Yeah, we'd love to have you subscribe, hang out with us, talk about guitars. We joke about our wives being tired of hearing that, and we're doing this for fun. We're doing it to hang out, so we can talk, we can share some instruments and stuff like that, and then talk with you and get some input from you. So last video we asked you what that guitar you had that was kind of the sleeper, the thing that maybe you came across that you're really surprised about and you really love. How do you want to shape it this time? Well, this isn't. I don't think this is a sleeper. You can't.
No, it was kind of a known commodity, but for me, it was different because it was the Carl Carlton and not the Starplayer TV. I mean, it could be somebody's number one. It is not. It is not the stepsister in the collection for sure. It's just that the PRS that I played in another episode is just magic for me. It weighs about half that amount, but I mean, Duesenberg, well known now. I think they're made to quality build.
So in the comments, if you played a Duesenberg, what are your thoughts?
Yep.
That'd be one. Because I freely admitted that this P90 thing does kind of confuse me. And I actually bought a PRS soap bar. And I have played it very rarely because the one or two times I've taken it out, it hasn't made it a song.
Yeah.
So if you are and I know there's big P90 fans out there, maybe give me some hints on what to do with this. But anyway.
So with that, talking about gear, talking about Duesenbergs, talking about Supros, PRSs, it's a perfect time to remind you that no matter what you hear, you don't have too much gear. Peace.
I can't even.
I think you're right. I think because I got off on that one too, but that'll be the beauty of the channel.